Well folks, hi, welcome back to Fishing with Den. I'm down a local pond today, and this is my first bite, and what I'm doing, as you can maybe see in a second, is I'm fishing with a small method feeder. Whoops, come on fish, get out of there. It's a mini method feeder. It's homemade of course, as usual, but I've also got some micro method feeders which I'm trying. Now if I just take this off the hook, this one's probably about a pound or so, hooked nicely in the bottom lip, and it's a nice little fish. Look, we'll put him back and we'll tell you a bit more about what we're doing today. As I said, I've got some mini method feeders. If I just put that down for a second to get myself sorted out, but they're mini method feeders with a slight difference. Now if you remember, a few weeks ago I did a video where I showed you how your bait reacts. I haven't got any bait on here, but I showed you by putting the hook into the feeder a certain way, it falls off down the side, and if you put it in another way, it obviously stays in there. Well, inspired by the Guru method feeders, which years ago produced a little clip thing which held your bait in position, I've made these two. I'll just jump up and show you. Just get rid of that. And basically what we've got is the mini method feeder that I'm using now, and the micro method feeder, which is tiny, as you can see. And the difference is, and I'll show you in a second, because I've got to get some bait on. I'll do it on the one I'm using. This is the mini method feeder. What I'm doing, and what's different with this one, is it has a bait clip in it, or in this case a sliding bait clip. Let me show you in a bit more detail. Hopefully I won't fall in. You can probably see just in here a couple of rubber pieces, and all you do is you put your bait, this is a bit awkward trying to do with the camera, but put your bait in like this, take your fingers and just pull down through, like, ouch, stuck my finger in it, but anyway. So that's it. It now slides, but it's also locked, as you can see, and I can then vary the amount of line I want in there. This is a 4-inch hook length, but basically what I'm going to do is show you how I have been putting the thing into the feeder, trying not to fall backwards. Okay, so I put the line into the clip, and then I've held the hook and the bait over to one side. If I now put a bit of bait in, sorry it's all a bit awkward because I'm trying to do it for the camera, bit of bait in as usual, pull that back a bit, whoops, pull that back until it's about where I want it to be in the feeder, and you can do this by holding on like that, and then I can place it exactly where I want it to be. So if I just pull that down a fraction, that looks about right. We've got a bait on, and now I can put the covering on top as usual, and we've got exactly the right amount of line from the end of the feeder here to the bait to accommodate. But when the fish comes along and slurps the bait up, rather than being fixed like the Guru one is, which only maybe gives you sort of that much line, if they slurp it from up here, then I want my bait to rise up. So that sliding element there means that when they slurp this, the whole thing comes up and they hopefully get hooked. That's the plan anyway. I'll show you a couple of other things on it shortly, but basically it's a normal sort of a sensitive, hold on, I'm actually not fishing all that far out today, sensitive sort of method feeder. It's in line, and I've been fishing for probably about 10 minutes, just trying it out for the first time, see how it goes. And I gather MAP are bringing one out too. I think they're calling that the embed feeder. That one, probably, I know it has a soft clip, and those are soft in there as well. In fact, let me see if I can get you a better close-up. There are two bits of rubber just in here, and basically that forms a slot, and you pull the line down through the slot. It's as simple as that. Now that gives me the sliding mechanism, because I'm just watching my feeder, because there is an open slot just below it, so it can slide between. If I want to trap it, I can trap it right between the two bits of green rubber there, so I can have the bait either sticking up that way or aiming down that way. Haven't quite used that yet, but that's the plan anyway, and we'll see how we go. It's got to be a bite. Again, not a big fish. Not fishing with an elasticated version this time. Oh, left me landing net down there when I was talking to you. I may make some elasticated versions at some point, but as a lot of people in the UK don't use elasticated feeders anymore, probably not the most helpful thing to be showing you, would it? There we are again. Oh, hook's come out in the net, which is fine by me. And that's number 2. Wobbling around all over the place. Well, seems the fish have turned up pretty early. I mean, what am I, 20 minutes in? Bit of talking, thanks fish, bit of talking on the old GoPro there and messing around, but that's another one. Look, that's what, 3, 4? Yeah, thereabouts anyway. Getting liners again already. I'm playing around a little bit with the mixture. Slightly harder on the base and softer on the top so that it breaks down more quickly, because I don't want it to be a hard mix when they come down for their first slurp. And it's another one, I reckon. A little bit bigger maybe. Whoa! He took off, didn't he? Definitely a little bit bigger than the other ones. Get out the reeds. Get out, get out, get out. Oof. Bit of a loony fish, this one. Fast as well. One of them Ferrari carp one of my viewers talked about that time. Okay. Well, this is thick and fast, isn't it? And it seems to be working quite well. Now this one's probably about 2 pounds or so. I can just about hold on to it. Okay, so where we're at the moment then, I've got the feeder and I'll put the line into the clip in the usual way. Getting the hang of it a bit more now, a little bit awkward at first. And then what I've got here is sort of a 2/3 ground bait, 1/3 micro pellets mix. I'm just going to sprinkle a few of those in the bottom and just tamp it down just a little bit like that. Bring that around, place it in position, and then just pull that back so that the line's not kinked up. You can see that the main part of the line is sticking out the back, not sticking out the top. And then on the top here, just a small amount of the mixture. Not much of a squeeze, because I'm only fishing a few meters out really. And off we go again. Let's just sort myself out. There we are. It's probably about 6 feet where I'm fishing. You've got about a foot or so just at the edge. It goes off, then it goes down like that to about 9 feet. So I'm still fishing on the slope because I'm finding that it's still actually quite hot weather here. The fish seem to be in the shallower water rather than the deeps. I fished here a little bit ago and I tried originally a bit further out at about 30 meters, but just couldn't get a bite there. So I've just been fishing, as I say, probably what, 7-8 meters out. Oh. Whoa. Got to be a bit careful of those, haven't you? And it literally is a fisher chuck after about 30 seconds. And I still haven't drunk my cup of tea that I poured out, well, just after I did the initial introduction for you. I must put my hat on as well. That's always a good idea, isn't it? Probably a pound or so. Lump of gunk on it, but nicely in the corner of its lip. And it's caught my net. But yeah, aren't they beautiful fish? This is the second go I've had where it's had a sort of a very soft top with it, and the bites certainly came quicker still. I got a feeling I actually had a bite on the way down then. I just saw the rod bounce. I say a bite, it probably just hit a fish. Well, I've almost managed to finish my tea anyway. It's all a bit hectic, isn't it? I think that's a drop back. Certainly something. Get this tea done yet. That just went slack again, which would normally indicate, there we go. I don't think he realised he was on. I'm using a 20-gram version of the feeder. I didn't want to use the 13-gram ones that I made just yet. I wanted something with a bit of weight just to prove the point. Obviously I need to do some practicing with this and try all the different sizes. I'll end up with 3. There'll be a 13, a 24 and a about a 30, I think it is, 32, something like that. Oops, hook came out. But then again, nice fish, again around a pound. Must be lots of fish down there because there's an awful lot of liners. You really want to strike at those, don't you? There we go. Couldn't miss that one, could I? This is really good fun. Seems to work really well too. Got the clutch fairly tightened down because I've got reeds on this side and there's a weed bed which goes out about, I don't know, a good rod length into the water off to my right. Okay, well, I don't know how many that is, but we're only about half an hour in and it's going well. Slight change of plan this time. I'm still going to allow the line to go through the feeder and run loose, but this time I'm going to fill the base up. Just make sure I'm not pulling that out. I'm going to fill the whole thing up, and I'm going to get the bait right on the top. Now for this one, hope you can see this, I'm going to pull this through so it's just like that and then tamp that down. The idea being that it can't go anywhere unless the fish decides to take it. As you can see, look, it just stays there. Still on a free running line, and we'll see how we go with this. See if it gets bites any quicker. The tip's actually dropping back. I don't know if the fish has taken it or not. I'm just going to tighten up a little bit. And it is moving. Because the fish are never fished for here, they don't half the time realise they've been hooked. There we go. Oh, got the line tangled a little bit around the bail arm. Not bright done. But that, I think, took the bait off the top and just sat there until it realised that it was hooked. Whoa. A bigger fish. Yeah, definitely bigger fish. Ooh. I haven't actually seen it yet. Definitely a bigger fish, isn't it, this? Wow. Good old bend in the rod, isn't it? Just for reference, I'm not doing anything special here by way of tackle. This is actual Drennan Series 7 puddle chucker, as it was called back in the day. It's a 12-foot carp feeder, and it's years old. That's a nice fish. And it's really good still. It's been replaced by the Vertex now, and the reason I'm using a 12-foot rod is because I don't have anything shorter, because a lot of the places I fish are further out, and I can't afford to be buying lots and lots of different rods, 9-foot, 10-foot, 11-foot, 12-foot rods to do the job. So I've settled on this 12-foot, and I'll make it work. That is a good fish. Ooh, yes, that'll do nicely. He didn't even realise. Oh, he was hooked, I'm sure. Come on. This time. Oh, get in the net. That's a good fish, isn't it? Oh, I don't know what he actually weighs, and I haven't got the scales with me because I've only got the lightweight box. But that is a decent fish. Just get rid of that for a second, and we'll see what we can do about showing you. He, or she, yeah, don't do that, Den. Luckily, the water was just down here. Now I'm going to have to clean my glasses, start again. But hey, this is working great, isn't it? Apart from the glasses. Back in a minute. We're going to do it exactly the same way for the next few casts. I'll put it into the sliding clip, so it's sliding, as we've said. Get some bait and fill it up without putting the bait into it to start off with. First layer, and then the top layer, and now, as we did before, bait on the top and pull the line tight out through there. Just tamp around the bait so that it's sitting just on the top like that. Now the clip will hold it, the bait will hold it for a while until it melts, but let's just see again if we get faster bites and or bigger fish, of course. I'll just trim the tip and we'll see how long it takes to get the first liners. Okay. And immediately we're onto liners. Now the good news is, of course, that I'm not putting too much bait in because I'm using fairly small feeders, mini feeders. So I'm not really overfeeding the fish, although, you know, in the summer that's probably not so much of a problem as in the winter. And that is actually jerking it around. I think it's definitely on, you know. It's moving it. Yeah, there you go, look. They take it. Oh, that's a bit better. They take it, but they don't actually go all that far with it because they don't realise they're hooked. This is going down the edge. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, There he is. Torpedo. Oh, it's caught around his dorsal fin, which is just what I don't need. Oh, I think we're off. Whoa, it's a surfing fish. Whoops. Very quick today. I don't know how many this is now, guys, but this is working well. We'll give it a couple more goes like that. And this one is obviously bigger than 3 pounds because I can't get my hand around it. But you don't need to see it because you've seen 3 pound fish before. And we'll do exactly the same thing again. We'll give it one more go with the loose line clip, the sliding line clip, and with the fairly loose patch ground bait on the top. And obviously on this one, I've actually got the bait itself showing. Again, we'll see how we go. As I say, 6 feet, so hits the bottom. I'll trim the tip and we'll see. Let's trim that up a bit. How long it takes to get a bite. It's definitely moving around, isn't it? Trouble is, because they're not spooking off in the normal bolt rig fashion, it's you've actually got to watch for the proper bites. Again, it's doing this, it's kind of indicating a bite where it's shaking its head, but not enough to strike at the moment. Again, just bouncing around. I think there might be a fish on there. He told you. So much for a bolt rig. Now, obviously I'm fishing in line, but even so, you'd have expected a bit more than that. Whoa, fish, get out there. I'm mad. I don't half like this inside cover. Not all that big, this one. Okay, so I think after this one, oh, hook fell out. After this one, we'll try something different. This time, what we're going to do is just take the line in through the clip and we're going to hold it in place using the rubbers to do it. And that now no longer slides, as you can see. So we'll put the bait in. Obviously it only gives me a very short hook length, and it might well be even then that the line pulls through when the fish sucks at the bait. But if I put that on the top now, cover it with bait, and away we go. So this is the line trapped method using the same clip. As I say, we've probably got, I don't know, 25-30 millimeters of slack line to it. I'll put my hat on in a minute, I think. There we are. And this might just give us a bolt rig effect, because obviously we've got the line trapped in the clip this time. And yes, so that works too. Or alternatively, you could say, Den, you're just fishing in an aquarium, mate, you're going to catch anyway. But no, I'm definitely learning stuff as I go. He's took me in the reeds, don't want that. Well, I think we're going to call a halt to it about there, guys. We've had loads of fish, I've no idea how many, and you obviously won't get to see them all because I'll have to edit some out. But as far as this little mini feeder goes, I think this is definitely a winner. And as for the sliding line clip here, that seems to work really well too. Still haven't quite decided in my own mind whether the clip with the sliding part engaged is the way to go, or to have it trapped in the same way as the Guru one does, and probably the new MAP embed. But the good news is I've got the facility to have either or. So on the day, it may be the fish prefer one way or the other. But as I say, 3D printed bit of fishing tackle, cost me pennies and works for me. Anyway, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, if you did, please click the like button. If you want to subscribe, I'd like you to do that too. And of course, feel free to contribute. It always helps with the upkeep of the channel. I'm going to need some new cameras fairly soon, so hopefully these will keep going for a while. But anyway, that's by the by. See you next time.